We've got an exceptional day of racing coming up on Sunday at Sha Tin. Paul Lally's here to preview the card, and let's have a look at the first event, which is the swimming 1200 metre handicap. I reckon you would have been a butterfly man back in the day, Paul.
More breaststroke.
Patch of Cosmo here in the lineup with Santorini. Run Yes Run with Michael Chang. The stable's going well. Matthew Chadwick rides. Baby Satellite is on debut for Jamie Richards and has the blinkers tongue-tie combination on. Circuit Jolly's on debut for David Hayes and Zach Purton. Etalon Orr ran a slashing race at his resuming run this season. You've got Juno Pride, who's for John Size, and Brenton Abdallah out of Barrier 12 on debut. Carrying Attack, David Hoare, Matthew Poon on debut. Northern Fireball, Top Time, another debutant here for Chris So out of Barrier number 9. Cash has got the tongue tie going on, and down to Concord Star, Derek Long from Barrier number 3. Speed here, Paul. Northern Fireball, he went forward in his debut. Does Angus put the handlebars down here?
I think he does, and look, he was just beaten in the last sort of 20 metres, was Northern Fireball, so a good run from him. Santorini, second run or third run out of Griffin, should get a nice trail. Run Yes Run goes forward. The debutant, Circuit Jolly, showing a bit of speed. Carrying Attack, Patch of Cosmo, I think, is going to have to go back. All the other ones go back. Etalon Orr ran really well from the back last day.
Yes, he certainly did, courtesy of a very good ride from Alexi Bedell. And let's have a look at that now. He was just defeated by Patch of Cosmo. Etalon Orr's back on the inside there. Northern Fireball up on the pace. I actually didn't mind, Paul, the run from Run Yes Run, because he missed the kick a bit and then he was hunted forward, so he was used up a little bit after that.
Yeah, he was. So he'll strip fitted with that run under his belt. I really like the run of Northern Fireball here. He had to do all the donkey work out in front. Now he's going to have to do it again, but look, he was still in front there, and look, over a length clear, and he was just absolutely swamped late. So look, the other horses, obviously, Patch of Cosmo goes up in weight for this win. So look, I wouldn't give him. I quite like him in this. I think he's good. I think all those three are good chances in the race.
Santorini was the beaten favourite there. Stable wasn't in form then, but it is now. Can he bounce back?
Yeah, look, I didn't put him in because I just wanted his form was in Griffin races, and now he's out of Griffin. That just worried me a bit.
Okay, moving on to Circuit Jolly. Now, he's on debut here for David Hayes and Zach Purton. He's only the third of the progeny of 10 sovereigns to race here in Hong Kong. He trialled at Tauranga with Simon and Katrina Alexander and looked good, I thought, in that trial. He's trialled up well here. Yeah,
nice trial. Look, he did what he had to do. It was more of an educational trial for him. Zach Purton aboard, you always have a double look, and David Hayes' stable's definitely in form. So, look, he's definitely a chance, no question.
Zach was actually aboard the winner of that trial, horse called Horsepower. Another one of the debutants to look at here is Juno Pride, coming out of the stable of John Size, and this galloper here was $80,000 out of the English Classic Yearling sale. He was in a yard with Ellen and Jason Williams in Australia. How have you seen his trials, Paul?
I've liked his trials. I've really liked him. I think this horse goes super. As you say, I don't think he's really been let go here at all. And I thought he could have won this trial if he wanted to. The draw's the problem. He's drawn barrier number 12. So I've included him. He would have been higher up in the order if he'd drawn better.
Okay, Brenton Abdallah wasn't on board for that trial, but he has been on board in the past with Juno Pride. Selections for the first, Paul?
Going to go with Northern Fireball coming out of that race. Look, I just think with the sort of little pull on the weights with particular Patch of Cosmo, he was in front right till the end, and he'll be fitter for that run. Etalon Orr was a fantastic ride from Alexi Bedell, but he also raced very well. Juno Pride, he goes in for third, and then Patch of Cosmo for fourth. 9, 6, 7, 1.
We have just marked your card for the first of the day on Sunday at Sha Tin, and that first race does get underway at 12:35. Race number 2 coming up at Sha Tin is the Athletics and Judo 1200 metre handicap here, and here's the lineup for it. It's Class 3. It's an 80 to 60, but the top rated horse here is 70, so it's effectively 70 through 62. Candlelight Dinner for Me Choi ripped along in a recent trial. You've got Captain Win, who's been pretty consistent. Enterprise Attack first up for 182 days after bleeding in a barrier trial. Got Polaris, who's drawn well with an apprentice claim. Savvy Brilliant, everything went wrong for him last start. Crossover Noseband, Tongue Tie, they go on. Super Fortune, Galvanic and Super Infinity, who's up in grade after scoring as a $1.70 favourite over King Oberon last start. Candlelight Dinner, Paul, he ripped along in front. 60.9 was his time for the 1,050 metres.
Yeah, so he should lead Super Fortune, but they're the two leaders in the race. But I think they'll be sort of single file. There'll be a gap back to Polaris and Super Infinity, the last start winner. Galvanic, Savvy, Brilliant, Enterprise Attack, and Captain Wynn's been getting back and running. Not bad races recently.
Well, speaking of for Captain Wynn, he has actually been in quite good form for trainer Pierre Ung, and Nick, he spoke to his trainer on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. That, of course, is Pierre.
Pierre Ung, Captain Wynn is a horse who seemingly is really enjoying his racing at the moment. A couple of runs so far this season. Both have been very good in defeat.
Yes, last run was brilliant. He just lost to two very good horse, and I hope he can do it again this Sunday.
Just talk me through the run, Pierre, obviously from your perspective as a trainer, because he just looked that little bit keen last time.
Just at the midway, when Vincent thought he's tried to slow off a bit, then he give a few stride, and then he got a bit keen. I just have to remember Vincent next time. Bear in mind he gets a little bit keen during the trip. If he relaxes and pick it up in the straight, he'll finish off much better.
He's looking, Pierre, like quite a versatile horse ground-wise as well. I mean, that was yielding ground last time, but he's equally as adept on good, isn't he?
Yeah, it doesn't matter for him. Just hopefully the pace is good enough for him. The pace is on, and he'll have a very good finish.
You seem to have him going in a sort of a real decent vein of form at the moment, Pierre. I know you send him up to Chung far and back. Is he the type of horse that probably needs that and enjoys that?
He definitely enjoys that, and he's a big horse. He needed the trip to keep him light, so hopefully he can be lighter tomorrow when he comes back.
I know these Class 3s are never easy, but this one on paper doesn't look the deepest in the world. Looks like he's got a decent opportunity to try and tick that Class 3 box.
Yes, definitely that's our plan, to win in Class 3. He runs well in the last two races, so hopefully we can get it this time.
Elevate the status a little bit, of course. The feature races are Group 2, the Sha Tin Trophy. I must ask you about Galaxy Patch. He's back in action. Finished the year off in great style last season. You must be thoroughly looking forward to getting him back on course.
Oh yeah, just can't wait. His first run is Group 2, and I'm looking for a very good warm-up run. We tried him 4 times, and he seems settled enough, fit enough, but this is not the best of him yet, because last season we have so many runs in him, and hopefully with this time we will give him a good run, and we'll look forward to the next 2.
Outside of his last couple of performances last season, Pierre, obviously 2 Group 3 wins that did look mightily impressive. Prior to that, he'd run some very good races over varying trips, and he sort of fell into the category that, you know, could be anything almost. I guess mixing it now with the big boys must fill you and his connections with plenty of excitement, because I suppose, well, you're his trainer, you can tell me a bit more, but I mean, how untapped is he still?
Well, he's still showing me a little bit of greenness, so hopefully during the next 3 runs he can adapt a little bit more. Of course, he can stay in trip. We might go a little bit further on him next year and see how far he can get up to.
Pierre Ung on his runner here, Captain Wynn, and also a few lines there on Galaxy Patch in the feature of the afternoon. Off we go now to a look at Super Fortune here running 4th. Polaris Paul, he's drawn nicely in 3 with the Apprentice claim, so no weight on his back. Galvanic I thought wasn't bad here last start. He ran on from the rear.
He did. He probably was the better of the 3, to be honest, the way he finished off. Polaris I thought had every chance and didn't finish off. And look, Super Fortune, his best runs we've seen is actually when there's a little bit of rain around as well in recent times. So I just didn't like the way he attacked the line. But yeah, I thought, as you said, Galvanic was probably the better run of the 3.
Yep, of course, that race was won by Ruby Lott. Super Infinity now, who was scored as a favourite last time out and cleared away from them. You can see him up here. And just have to absorb a little bit of pressure in this race. A firm to his inside. I think My Flying Angel there to his outside. He'll come up short though, won't he?
Yeah, he will. I think he should be favourite in this race coming up, and punters will be jumping on again. As you say, 1.7. Look, I mean, it was a very good run from him, there's no question. It's now he's got to do it up in Class 3. It's very hard to go straight from Class 4 to win in Class 3. Look, I've included him. I've got one to beat him, though, but look, it was a nice enough win from him.
Zach Purton was aboard there. It's Lyle Hewitson this time round riding for Mark Newton. And a couple of others to look at here. Paul, not a big race numbers-wise, but a few replays to look at. Nothing went right for this horse, Savvy Brilliant, did it?
No, look, he was really sandwiched up at the start. So that put him on the back foot from day one. from the get-go, I should say. And you can just see here when Zach wanted to make his run, there was just no gap there, and in the end, he sort of sat on the horse. He just had nowhere to go, and it sort of really became apparent about now when he wanted to get through there. Horse on his outside just squeezed him up, and as such, he lost all his momentum. The gap came again, and he sort of got going, and once he did get going, he made some good ground. I think up to 1200 looks good.
Righto. Candlelight Dinner is a newcomer to Hong Kong racing. He raced with Anthony and Sam Friedman prior to arriving. He won over 1,000 and 1,100 metres. Got out to a big lead in this trial, Paul. He was probably even a fraction keen. The winning margin was 7.5 lengths, but I'm sort of querying his stamina maybe here.
Well, that's the thing. He's never raced past 11, so you got to take him on trust. Up to the 1,200 metre race for him, and look, there was nothing wrong with the trial. It was done in a very quick time as well. It's just, as you say, whether he can keep going or not.
Yep, and Karis Teaton rides as he did in that recent barrier trial for Mi Choi. Selections here, Paul, for race 2.
Got to go with Savvy Brilliant. I think with that run under his belt, he looks the one. I think he can upset Super Infinity. So 5 to beat 8. Captain Win, we heard from Pierre there. And we'll put Candlelight Dinner just in on the minor line, just in case he can get that 1,200. But there is that sort of little query. 5, 8, 2, 1.
Those are the selections for race number 2. That is the Class 3 over the 1,200 metres. We stay in Class 3 for race number 3, but this time it is over the trip of 2,000 metres as we have a look at the lineup for the Hong Kong, China's Paris 2024 Olympic Team Celebration Cup. Ensued at the top there with Zach Purton, John Size, Awesome Fluke, Ricky Yu and Andrea Razzini, a good third behind Turin Star Spangled last time. Packing Hurricane enjoys course and distance. Supreme Agility with Bowman aboard. Winning Dragon comes into this second up. Universal Horizon trying course and distance for the second time. 18 Carat, the tongue tie goes on. Bright Inheritance, one of the biggest prize winners of last season, if not the biggest. And Beauty Live with the cheek pieces coming off up to 2,000 metres for the second time. Doesn't appear to be too much pace in this race, Paul.
No, look, it doesn't. 18 Carat now, when he did win over the 2,000 metres, he led all the way, and he's drawn barrier 1. So I just think there'll be that intention to go forward. Winning Dragon, and should get a nice run from his draw, barrier 5. Packing Hurricane, Awesome Fluke. He's known to make a mid-race move. I think he'll be settling there. Beauty Live from a wide draw in the small field will go back.
Let's look at Awesome Fluke first of all, and a few other runners coming out of this race, race number 42. Packing Hurricane up at the pointy end here. Paul, maybe if maybe he could get away with a soft enough run from barrier 4 with an apprentice on and a lightweight, because he is a horse that does enjoy course and distance. However, my little concern would be 0 from 3 second up.
Yeah, that was my little concern as well. I like the run from Universal Horizon here, stepping up to 2,000 metres. You can see him at the back there in that green cap, and he sort of made some quite eye-catching ground late. Stepping up to the 2,000 looks quite good for him, and I like the way he really attacked the line there late. So, look, I've included him. I've also included an Awesome Fluke on a minor line as well.
Yep, he's certainly going well at the moment. Awesome Fluke. Supreme Agility here at Happy Valley now with this horse here out of the Pierre Ung Ban. First time up to 2,000 metres for him.
Yeah, look, he does look like a bit of a star. He's 2-zip at Happy Valley. He's not the biggest chap around. He's under 1,000 pounds as well. He's going to carry 127. Like, he has struggled a little bit here at Happy Valley with these sort of bigger weights. So that was my little concern. So I was happy to watch him go round in this.
Okay, he's got 127 pounds here. It does Supreme Agility and Ensued. He was very good through his first campaign here in Hong Kong. Of course, they lined him up in the BMW Hong Kong Derby. He had a really wide run in transit for Ryan Moore. But when he won Paul in his first season here, he won first up and he also won second up.
Yeah, he was 6.8 in the Derby, so it showed the sort of the form line going into that race. You can see him finishing off this trial really nicely. Has won fresh in the past. As you know, like starting off the season at 2,000 metres is obviously piled plenty of work into him. So I think he could be the one. He looks the one to beat.
Yeah, he's had 3 trials coming into this, so 203 days away from racing Ensued and looked good in that recent barrier trial. So is he on top?
Yeah, I'm going to put him on top. Ensued, I think he can win this race off top weight to beat Universal Horizon. 18 Carat from the front and Awesome Fluke. 1, 6, 7 and 2.
Good quality Class 3 race over the 2,000 metres. Coming up for decision at Sha Tin at 1:35. Race number 4 is the badminton and cycling 1400 metre handicap, and this race here is the first leg of the triple trio, which gets underway at 2:10. Joyful Life having another go round. He's a 12-start maiden. He's drawn barrier 13. Superwise Dragon in the stable of Cody Moe. The crossover noseband is off. The cheek pieces are on. Yoda's Choice on a 7-day turnaround. Noble Win, Blinkers first time. So Awesome missed the start last start. Charmander being a $1.90 favourite last time. You got Winning 7 in the race, who's had some throat surgery. Cheek pieces, crossover noseband off. Blinkers reapplied. Youth Power's been better. Asian 1, Blinkers been reapplied. The pacifiers with the cowls off. Beat Hollow's got the lightweight. And here is Medic Elite up for his 4th start of the season. Beat Hollow, he'll roll along in front and might do it quite easily up front with the lightweight, Paul.
Yeah, it looks that way. Look, there doesn't appear to be too much sort of competition for the lead with this horse as well. So, yeah, I think he can easily lead. Cheer for South has got a better draw. He can slot him behind. Fireball goes forward. Looks a little bit tough for Joyful Life. I think Yoda's Choice will need a bit of luck from his draw as well, but he ran a lot better last time.
Okay, that's the speed map. He's getting very close to getting into the Money Muncher book, this horse here, Paul. Joyful Life, he's been in the market several times, hasn't delivered. He's come up with an awkward barrier draw here again. I've got him in, but I also don't mind a few others here. Fireball goes well, second up coming into this, and Youth Power seems to be a horse that's on the improve.
Yes, I'm going to put Youth Power in. I'm sort of not as faithful with Joyful Life as you are, Tom. He can be yours in this race. I just wonder about him from 13. Look, he's sort of been running some pretty good races from low draws, but hasn't been able to get his nose in front. But as you said, Youth Power seems to be on the improve, and he hit the line strongly here.
Okay, that's the verdict there on a few out of that race. Moving to Charmander now. He went off a ridiculous price this day at $1.90 in Class 5 over the 1600 metres. Needs everything to go his way, and this was last time out. He was a winner, of course, 28 days ago at the beginning of the season. Yeah,
look, 1600 metres here, he's back to 14, which is probably a lot better for him. You can see in the smallish field, just the way he jumped and everything, he was quite close to the pace. And look, he'd won well coming off the speed last time. I just think the circumstances of the race didn't pan out for him. But, you know, you'd be a little bit disappointed, but he was odds-on favourite.
He was. Anything here with Beat Hollow, who's got the lightweight in the race? Many thanks Forever as well, who's in the stable of Chris. So he was beaten 3 lengths last time out, but I think the 112 pounds on this horse up front here, Beat Hollow, appeals a bit.
I'm going to go with him because, look, he looks the only leader in the race. He's got the claim, so he's going to carry 112. He's a 2-time winner in the grade in the past as well. And he was still in front here with sort of like, you know, 200 to go and only just sort of faded late. So that big pull in the weights, I think he could just keep going.
Okay, so Brittany Wong riding there and was beaten comprehensively in the end by a commanding missile, but with a lightweight would have to be dangerous in a lineup like this. So he's on top, Paul?
Yeah, going to go with him. We'll go with Beat Hollow straight to the front, out of trouble, and Catch Me If You Can. I'll give Yoda's Choice another chance because he dropped into Class 5 and he ran a nice second behind the well-backed Young Horizon last start. Youth Power is the improver, and Charmander. So I'm gonna just stay away from Joyful Life in this. 12, 3, 8 and 6.
Okay, that is the verdict there on, believe it or not, the first leg of the triple trio. It's a Class 5 over the 1400 metres. Race number 5, it is the fencing 1200 metre handicap upcoming here at Sha Tin, and it's Class 4. And the field for the first leg of the 6-up, Awesome Treasure with Brittany Wong and David Hayes went close to Harold Wynn last time out. Capital Legends back in grade, he's a winner in this grade. Thriving Brother, Zach Purton riding for the second time this season for trainer Douglas White. You've got California Deeply, Blinkers are on first time, cheek pieces off. Written Casa, Classic Sentry's a newcomer for Mark Newnham and Luke Ferraris, has been looking good at the trials. Drala for Ricky Ewan, Karis Teton. Loving Vibes with the gear change there. Vincent Ho riding for Francis Lloyd. The cheek pieces are on. Rewarding Twinkle, a newcomer. Tongue Tires on there. Master of All, Circuit Maximus, the crossover noseband on. Gangnam Star off a rating of 45. Speed map here, Paul.
Yeah, look, Awesome Treasure looks the likely leader again with that 10-pound claim. He should be able to go straight to the front. Classic Sentry, I thought, showed some really good speed in his trials. He won't be far away. Master of All likes to go forward. Drala, Gangnam Star. Rewarding Twinkle, I think he's another one that he's missed the start, but then he's shown some really good speed afterwards. But if he does that, I think he could be trap wide.
First replay we're going to look at is the Brittany Wong mount here. It is Awesome Treasure. Of course, had the trail here, was right next to the winner, Harold Wynn. He led in the early stages, then sat second and had a good battle with Harold Wynn, but in the end, him and one other just got the better of him. Yeah,
look, so the £10 claim now coming off looks really good for this horse, obviously. He's one of the main chances, isn't he, with that lightweight. He always fights strongly. Harold Wynn hadn't won for a while, but this was his debut run. So look, I thought it was a good run from Awesome Treasure.
And he's probably a suitable ride for two, Brittany Wong, with a jump and run type that he is, Awesome Treasure. On we go to Thriving Brothers, Zach Purton here. You've got Encountered through on the inside, in fact Endeared on the inside there for John Size and Hugh Bowman, drawn barrier at number 11. But he was slightly held up here, but I don't know after getting into the clear how well he was going. Yeah,
exactly. Look, he you can see, he couldn't get that run, could he? Now, Thriving Brothers, he seems to be on the improve, this horse. He's only had the 4 starts here in Hong Kong. Zach will jump aboard him for the first time as well. I haven't got him on top, but I've got him on a minor line, Thriving Brothers, because I think he's slowly getting there.
Okay, so there he is, Thriving Brothers. Just might have peaked slightly late there in that run too, did Thriving Brothers. Loving Vibes, one you don't mind here, Paul. This was a good debut performance from him 104 days ago down the straight 1,000. A couple of winners out of this, Chevelle Valiant and also Perfect General, so it's been a good enough form race.
Yeah, I thought so, and look, he was slow away here. Now, he's had 2 trials this season to get him ready for the race as well. He really got going late, this horse. You can see him, he was still a clear second last there, and those whites, Vincent sort of moved him to the middle of the course, and then he sort of finished off really strongly here, and I just really like the way he hit the line here over 1,000. He's going to kick off here over 1,200 metres. He was 12-1 this day. Hopefully he'll be a similar price and make him the each-way value.
Okay, one that's quite interested in here is a newcomer called Classic Century. Now, the horse that he's inside of for here is Lucky 8, and he, of course, won well last weekend at Sha Tin. Don't think they've totally let him go at these trials, Paul.
No, he's looked quite good in his trials, actually. Classic Century, he's a Denman horse. We've had one pretty good Denman here in Hong Kong before, and the prawn horse, the grey one.
Hot King.
Yeah, Hot King prawn. He was a very good Denman. Now, this horse here has hit the line really nicely in this trial, as you say. He wasn't really let go. He's drawn nicely in barrier 2. I think Luke Ferraris will be very positive on him and give him his chance.
Another honest horse is Master of All for Chris So and Keith Young, barrier 4. 2 trials coming into this, most recently in this trial, beaten by the horse right on the outside here in the yellow cap, Courier Aladdin.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me about him is his 1,200 metre record. He's had 8 goes at it and hasn't finished in the top 4. So that was the worry. I think this is a stepping stone up to 1,400 metres, and I'll be a lot more interested in him over the 14.
Okay, that's the verdict there on the Chris So Keith Young combination from barrier 4, Master of All. Selections here for this?
Yeah, I'll make the each way play in this, and that's Loving Vibes. We're going to go with him, number 9 on top to beat the first starter, Classic Century, Thriving Brothers, and the one with the claim, Awesome Treasure, 9-7-3-1.
That is the first leg of the third double trio on Sunday at Sha Tin. It's also doubling up as the first leg of the 6-up on the weekend. The sailing 1,600 metre handicap is race number 6 at Sha Tin, and having a look at the lineup for it. We've got True Genius for Douglas White and Karis Teton, drawn barrier 1 on the downgrade. California Totality, the visor off and the blinkers being reapplied. Phantom Cyclone's not done a great deal. Divas 12 has to negotiate this race from barrier 14. Family Jewel and Even Money winner Accolade Start didn't trial well coming into this. Principal's got the blinkers on for the first time. The cheek pieces are off. Coming Patch, Satirical Glory, Gallant Hero, better at Happy Valley, Midori Burley, Darcy Joy in the stable now of David Eustace with 2 trials under his belt. Soaring Bronco, Chater Gold drawn wide in gate number 11. Satirical Glory, he likes to roll forward to Paul, and he was a winner going back 4 starts ago. Could be joined by California Totality.
Yeah, he likes to go forward as well, California Totality. So I think these two could share the lead. Soaring Bronco, he led over 1,800. He's back to 16. Accolade Start's gone forward a few of his races. True Genius likewise, Midori Burley. Divas 12, it just looks a little bit tricky. He's drawn 14. He's got the whole... It's a big run to that first bend, so I'm sure Zach will be looking to slot in there somewhere.
Let's have a look at his last start to win. Divas 12 did it over Satirical Glory and also Chater Gold in this lineup here as well. Barrier 14, obviously the concern. Any interest in Satirical Glory or Chater Gold down towards the bottom? He's another one that's drawn wide, but he has been running better recently.
Yeah, no, I'm going to put Chater Gold in for that reason. He's just looking really good, a lot better, and he's been hitting the line very strongly. Haven't got the Satirical Horse Glory in, but I like the way Chater Gold finished off here. It was a good run. It was a gutsy win here from Divas 12 because he had to fight everyone off, but it just looks a little bit tricky from that 14.
Yeah, beat Dragon 4Cs there, who goes around on the Sunday card as well. Here we've got in this race Family Jewel, Soaring Bronco, Midori Burley in this contest. He went off for even money. Of course, he was... I want to say a tragedy beaten 2 starts ago, but probably should have won a couple of starts ago too. Family Jewel. Soaring Bronco's been there or thereabouts, and Midori Burley, he made up a little bit of ground late.
Yeah, a little bit of a better run from him, but look, I thought Family Jewel definitely had the wood on the other two here in this race, and like the way he finished off strongly. So yeah, he definitely goes in. He's a horse that definitely is on the improve, and he'll get back, and I think that's the right way to ride him.
California Totality into this race. Fresh hasn't raced for 127 days. Blinker's been reapplied. Brenton Abdullah was aboard in this trial up at Chung Fa, and liked the way he quickened here when he was required to. Yeah,
really nice trial from him. Look, he's another one that's drawn at 13, but look, he's got the speed to get across. I'm sure Divas 12 will probably try and come across with him. We've seen him go forward and sort of lead in the past and in his races, and when he was asked to here, as you say, he showed a good turn of foot. So it was a nice trial from him, and he could have won by a lot further if he wanted to.
Yeah, it was a good effort there from California Totality. Barrier 13 with the 134 pounds has had a lame left 4 issue after a trial back on the 25th of June. Thoughts here, Paul, on this?
Yeah, I'm going to go with California Totality. I think he can get across, and I think that'll be the key in this race. Family Jewel from the back with Chater Gold and Divas 12. The other one will just need a little bit of luck. 2, 5, 14 and 4.
It's a pretty open-looking race, the 6th of the day out at Sha Tin. The feature of the Sunday card is the Sha Tin Trophy at Group 2 level at handicap conditions over the trip of 1,600 metres. And Voyage Bubble heads the lineup here, carrying top weight of 135 pounds, back from the Yasuda Kinnan, where nothing seemed to really go right for him there. Beauty Eternal went out a Group 1 winner at the back end of last season. Of course, the Champions Mile. Beauty Joy, Galaxy Patch, he won at the Lion Rock Trophy and then into the Premier Plate for his final 2 starts last season. Red Lion was runner-up behind Beauty Eternal. Further down, you've got Straight Aaron, who's now in the stable of Ricky Yu. The crossover noseband goes on. Happy Together, Chang Cheng Glory with the lightweight, so too La City Blanche, and the Golden Scenery down at the bottom, a Group 3 winner last start of the Celebration Cup. Chang Cheng Glory, Paul, to go forward. Voyage Bubble, how much pressure does he add?
Yeah, look, he likes the lead to go forward, but look, this is all their first up runs for the season, so they're not going to overcook themselves by any stretch of the imagination. So as such, I think Chang Cheng Glory can dictate with the lightweight. Beauty Eternal can sit there, Voyage Bubble. Red Lion is the other one that maybe could put pressure on as well, because he does like to go forward, but all the other horses in this race, they go back.
Well, Chang Cheng Glory has the lightweight. So let's hear from his pilot. It is Lyle Hewitson.
Lyle Hewitson, we've got a pretty good race coming up on the weekend. It's the Sha Tin Trophy, of course. You're going to ride Chang Cheng Glory, a horse you know really well. You must be excited to get back on board him.
Yeah, absolutely thrilled. He's obviously been a horse that's done a lot for me since getting here, with quite a few winners, and run well in between those as well. And I just, as an individual, I've always loved him since day one. So it's just great to be aboard him, especially in such a nice race coming up.
I know obviously last season through sort of circumstance, etc. I mean, he had a varying sort of range of jockeys. Obviously, you were one of them and had success on him. And he won 6 last year. You made no secret though after his Griffin year, to me anyway, that you thought this was a good horse. And I suppose great to see what he was able to do last season.
Yeah, I think what was impressive is that he won 1,000 first up, and I think I was confident in his ability, but the fact that he could do it over 1,000 when he was still a bit raw was very impressive. And then he just blossomed from there, especially when we put on the headgear in the new season. And I think that he just keeps taking a step forward every time he steps out. So, I don't know if we've reached the ceiling yet. We sort of did think we had at the top of Class 3, and then something just clicked into gear again, and he stepped up a few more levels. So, yeah, he's a fantastic horse, lovely to ride, and a very talented individual.
Now a Class 1 winner, of course, finishing off the year in good style when Zach rode him. Trial, tell me about his trial, because I mean he's going to mix it with some big boys this weekend, but the trial looked very good.
Yeah, I think the trial showed everything, showed his well-being. We just gave him a quiet time in the first half of the trial and let him work home just off the bridle, and I think he showed that he was in fine fettle. He felt really good, and once again felt like he had taken a step forward in terms of his progression. So mentally and physically, he's, in my opinion at least, he's improved, and he's probably in for another very competitive and successful season.
You'd be fully aware, Lyle, obviously, the sort of the quality of the competition. It's not going to be easy, this first Group 2 of the season, but in your horse, you've got obviously a competitive horse, an honest horse, and certainly looks to go in there with a strong chance, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a Group 2. Of course, it's going to be full of quality, and everyone deserves their chance in the field. But in handicap terms, that obviously him coming in with the bottom weight is certainly an advantage to him. He's tactically versatile. We can put him in front, outside the leader, a couple of pairs back, it doesn't matter, which is probably one of the things in his arsenal that he's got over one or two of his competitors. But he's a lovely horse, and I think he's certainly up to this level on handicap terms.
Lyle Hewitson discussing the chances of his lightweight charge in the form of Chang Cheng Glory. Moving on to more replays here, Paul. Galaxy Patch, terrific back in the field this day. Beauty Joy back there with him. Chang Cheng Glory up near the pace with Happy Together, and Last City Blanche there. The minimum trip really for Last City Blanche, but he's trialled up well leading into this.
Yeah, no, he definitely has, isn't he? But yeah, no, I can't see him in this one up against some of these ones. Really nice. Galaxy Patch is a great horse, isn't he? He's very versatile, very likeable horse. He's won his last couple leading into it, and the only query I had, I've got him in. I've got one to beat him, but I've got him in there. It's just first up, how ready for him is he to go? But he's had plenty of trials to get him ready.
He has. He's had 4 in total, so I think he's fit and ready to go. Well and truly is Galaxy Patch. Here he is again. This, of course, the Champions Mile. First 4 in this race with the first 4. Home Beauty Eternal got that nice lead in front. Red Lion, Voyage Bubble, Galaxy Patch, Beauty Joy in the field at the back there. What about this horse here, Beauty Eternal? He can be a little unsettled in the gates from time to time too.
Yeah, look, I think Zach stole us off the front, didn't he? It was a really good ride from Zach. This isn't his grand final. This is a starting point, and we have seen John Sizer's horses take a run. Look, I think he's just going to sit in behind the pace from barrier number 6. I think the right way to, he's obviously a horse that likes to be in front or on the pace, and if he just sort of sits in behind, and he'll just run home, I think, and we'll be seeing the best of him in December.
Yeah, it can certainly be a case with a few of these horses at the top of the handicaps with the big weights and the fitness side not totally being their friend yet either at this point of the season. Voyage Bubble, Happy Together in this lineup here as well, Paul. Voyage Bubble, of course, went to Dubai. Nothing went right there, and then just got cast wide over in Japan behind Romantic Warrior. Yeah,
and look, this was a good showing this, because it just shows that he seems to have come back in good order, hasn't it? Look, he's trialled really nicely, and he stretched out well. So look, Ricky Yu's been saying in the paper that the weight's not a problem for him, and he's looking forward to him running on the weekend. So look, hopefully he'll run well.
Yeah, concedes 20 pounds here to the bottom weight chances, does Voyage Bubble. So that is the lineup there for the Sha Tin Trophy. Paul, who wins the Group 2?
Going to go with the lightweight. I think if Chang Cheng Glory is going to beat these other horses, it has to be in this race, because he's got everything in his favour weight-wise. Galaxy Patch, we know he's such a versatile horse. Voyage Bubble, and then Beauty Eternal. 8412.
And you can join us for the coverage of the feature. 4:10, the Group 2 Sha Tin Trophy commences. The rowing and table tennis 1400 metre handicap, the next at Sha Tin, race number 8. And Stella Swift, who was much improved last time out, went down in grade. Sunny de Best, presuming, has had 2 trials leading into this. I Am the Boss hasn't done a great deal. Lightning Bolt would prefer it at Happy Valley. Celtic Times, a trial winner up at Chung Fa. Rare to claim, you've got Jubilant winner there. Ben Thompson's been replaced by Zach Purton. Double win, has had substantial blood in the trachea last start. Happy Daily, still very well rated. Dragon Forces cast wide again in barrier 13. Team Happy was a winner 2 starts ago. Strathpether, Ever Smart, the hood goes on for the first time, and Mr. Good Vibes was beaten by Lucky 8 last time out 7 days ago. Team Happy here, Paul, double win, Celtic Times, and a few on the 3 wide line.
Yeah, Strathpether, like he's been going forward, so he might just get caught a little bit wide. Dragon Forces likewise, but he'll get some cover, I think. Ever Smart, Happy Daily. Back to Sunny de Best. Sunny de Best has led all the way when winning, but has been going back recently. I think Jubilant winner, you're going to see him a lot closer in the run from barrier number 4.
Stella Swift, it's David Hayes and Hugh Bowman combining here with Stella Swift. Andrea Razzini was aboard last time out. He was much better, wasn't he? Came off heels here, sort of at about the 400 metres, and closed off particularly well behind Sugarball.
Yeah, look, he goes in the numbers for me because he's been racing really well since he's got down in Class 4. When I say that, this is the only start he's had, but you could see him when he really flattened out, he hit the line really nicely here. So Sugarball's come out and run again and has run with merit running into a placing, so the form looks okay.
Jubilant winner was much better last time out. Zach Purton's riding here for Jamie Richards. Of course, they had a winner midweek at Happy Valley. What about him here? Because he was at 56-1 this day behind Super Infinity.
Yeah, I quite liked this run here because he came off a slow pace and he was really flushed wide. He was sort of wide the whole way, this horse, 2 or 3 wide at the back, and then he finished off this race really nicely, I thought. Super Infinity is obviously going around earlier in the card as well, so we might get a line through that. A firm since has come out and run well since. So, look, I think it was a good run. Zach's obviously seen it and he's jumped aboard.
Yep, he certainly has. Big run from this horse here, Dragon Forces, who'd shown some improvement in his trials leading into this. He covered ground as well in this race. He was 4 wide coming to the turn, but look, never shirked the task, did he?
No, I'm going to include him. I think he'll get some cover again from a wide draw. And he didn't have really much cover in this race at all. So he was entitled to drop away, but he really fought on strongly here with a horse, Divas 12, who is actually running earlier in the card as well. So, look, just the bob of the head is what he went down in the end. So, yeah, I've included him.
What do we make of Sunny de Best in this race? He was disappointing last time out. He had a trail and never really finished it off. He's had 2 trials leading into this. This the most recent one at Happy Valley with Andrea aboard running second.
Yeah, it was a lot better trial from him. So, as you say, when he did win his race, he'd been sort of below par the next 2 and was beaten favourite in one of them as well. So, been a little bit costly there. Barrier 9, he might just settle back. I've got him in on a very minor line. I thought he might get back and sort of be running on towards the end of the race.
Okay, they are all the galloping clues for race number 8. Who's on top in the end?
Got to go with Jubilant winner. I thought there was definitely improvement there. He's had the 2 starts now. Dragon Forces, Stella Swift, who went a lot better in Class 4, and then Sunny de Best. I think we covered all those well. 7, 10, 1 and 2.
If you're a fan of the treble, it gets underway. Race number 8 at Sha Tin, 4:45 for the 8th of the day. Here we go with race 9. It is the Taekwondo 1400 metre handicap at Sha Tin, and we can see at the top Speed Dragon taking the drop back in grade to Class 3. Of course, ran through all 3 legs of the 4-year-old series. Young Achiever went out a winner 91 days ago. He's had 2 trials leading into this. Beauty Crescent still 0 from 19. Gracious Express was 4th behind Packing Power. Lucy in the Sky chased home Wunderbar last start. Silo, he's drawn in barrier 12, drawn awkwardly there. Storm Rider for Hewitson in 10. Amazing Victory was pushed out in his most recent trial. Massive Action, he couldn't lead last time out. He's got barrier 1 for Angus Chung. Prince of Porty, The Way We Win didn't do a great deal. Across the Universe, with the crossover noseband being reapplied, and First Love with a light weights of 117 pounds. He couldn't lead last time, Paul. Massive Action, can he this time?
Yeah, I think he can. He's drawn the inside, so he'll go straight to the front. I think he looks the likely one. Angus can just push him out that way. Across the Universe went forward in a recent trial. Lucy in the Sky likes to go forward. Tough for Grace's Express from his wide draw. Solo went forward last time. They might tend to go back, but if he does go forward and get some cover there as well, Young Achiever, the last start winner, I think could be midfield.
Well, let's hear from the trainer of Silo at St Mark Newnham to maybe find out what the tactics are this coming weekend.
Mark Noonan, Silo went a better race last time. He's only had the 3 runs for you, but you must have been pleased with the better showing.
Yeah, look, it was a much more positive run. We put the cheek pieces on him and rode him a little more aggressively, which certainly helped. He's still a colt, so just needed something to help him focus a bit. Look, I don't think leading is necessarily where he needs to be, but in the race the other day there was no pace, so Brenton made the right decision. And look, I think he's come on well from the run.
Just given that he is a colt, Mark, I mean, 2 runs he's had so far this season, have they just sharpened him up, do you feel?
Oh, definitely, and they do carry a bit more weight, so he's needed those, and he should be pretty close to his peak on Sunday.
Guess that he seems that sort of adaptable type horse, as you say. Obviously was able to roll forward last time, and you have held him up. Just going back to his form previously, of course, in another life he raced in Singapore. I mean, it was pretty handy form. He was group placed as a juvenile, and he did win over 14, so he's got ticks in a lot of boxes, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, he was very consistent there, and obviously, look, coming here he's had to come up a grade really from the form in Singapore, but he's quite capable, and look, I think he'll probably even run a mile.
How much more do you feel the cheek pieces have sort of brought out in him, if anything?
Oh, I think it just keeps him a little more, a little more focused, especially jumping out of the gate. His first couple of runs, he was a little bit slow away and didn't muster speed, but the other day he was much more positive out.
That was Mark Newnham touching on Silo, who's drawn wide. We can go on to Young Achiever now, who went out a winner last season, Paul, and did a good style from back in the field here. Is he one of those horses that just maybe needs a run or two coming into this? Not been a bad form race. Pray for Mur and I Can have come out and won out through this.
Yeah, they have, definitely. And look, he showed a good turn of foot. He was quite an expensive horse from memory as well. And he's obviously lived up to that price tag here with a really nice finish here in the race. Zach Purton sticking with him. And he won with a plenty in hand. So, look, I want to include him. I haven't got him on top, but I will include him.
Okay, Young Achiever there for the Racing Club. Of course, they had Young Horizon win last weekend. Lucy in the Sky, Storm Rider. Lucy in the Sky, of course, chasing here Wunderbar, and Storm Rider back in the pack here in the red cap. He is trying course and distance for the 4th time. Of course, he was a winner way back in January. Yeah,
look, stepping up to the 14 looks good for him, and he didn't get much of a go actually here. He didn't get a run at all, and once he got in the clear, was quite eye-catching in his finish. He might be a bit of a price in this race as well. So, look, I'm going to go with him. I'm going to put Lucy in the Sky in as a Quinella horse, because this form looks rock solid with Wunderbar, and we'll know better after the last, won't we?
We will, we certainly will. One more to highlight here, it's First Love. I thought this was a good performance from him behind Mastermind. Made ground, he's had a quiet trial with Alexia aboard since at Sha Tin. With the lightweight, I think he's the one to beat here.
I've got him in. Yeah, I've got him in as well. I agree with you. I think, he's going nicely at this stage. He's just drawn a bit awkward in 9, but he'll get back and he'll be finishing off strongly as well. So, look, as you say, Mastermind looked like a winner waiting to happen. So, a good run from him. So, yeah, he definitely goes in.
That is First Love. He's a 4-year-old son of Poisir out of a Johar mare with the lightweight selections for race 9.
Going to go a bit of value here. I think Storm Winner will be a bit of a price here. So, Storm Rider, I should say, not Storm Winner. It's a Storm Rider. He's on top to beat Lucy in the Sky, Young Achiever, and then First Love. So a good race, the race 9, 7, 5, 2 and 13.
It is the first leg of the 5th and final double trio, race 9 at Sha Tin. The artistic gymnastics and triathlon handicap to round out the program at Sha Tin. It's over the 1200 metres. Very good race, this one, with a lot of quality horses in it. Sonpak Fu still yet to win here at Sha Tin, yet to run top 3 at Sha Tin, Sonpak Fu. Bundle of Charm made good ground behind Harmony and Blessed along the fence last start. Well, Tullabagil is first up. He has won first up, he has won course and distance. Superb Capitalist chased home Harmony and Blessed. Lucky Encounter first up for the season, hasn't been seen since the end of April. Wunderbar, who's now a 5-time winner of 6 starts. Call Me Glorious comes out of the National Day Cup, where he ran 4th behind Beauty Waves. Gorgeous Winds trialled nicely leading into this. Wonder Kit hasn't won for a wee while. Season's Wit, another one probably looking for Happy Valley. Sing Dragon looking for the all-weather. And then you've got Bottom Up together with the lightweight Wonder Star, a former Macau galloper who has won 5 races across Macau and Australia. And Watch Buddy, another one also looking for Happy Valley. You're predicting the tempo to be pretty quick here, Paul, with the horse that needs to learn to settle a little bit better in the form of Bottom Up together, and sometimes the suspect, Superb Capitalist.
Yes, if that goes out the window, it's going to help Bottom Up together for sure if Superb Capitalist does miss the start. But look, it was a bit of a tricky one, this one. We've got Wunderbar, Wonder Star, Wonder Kit. That's a good one for the commentators. We'll put all those 3 together and hopefully,
it's not me.
And hopefully they fight it out. Season's Wit, Call Me Glorious, Gorgeous Win will need a bit of luck. What do they do with Lucky Encounter? Because he normally goes forward. I think he's going to have to tuck in and just take his medicine. But you never know. With some of these horses that sometimes go back, they run well. Tullabagil gets back. He'll like this fast pace.
He certainly will. It's a very good race, the final event at Sha Tin. Let's hear from Frankie Law. He is the trainer of number 12, Bottom Up Together.
Frankie Law, Bottom Up Together, a runner for you in the Class 2. Just your overall assessment of his seasonal reappearance.
Last time he carried a big weight and nearly win, finished second. And now he's go up to Class 2 lightweight. I think should be better for him because he's not a big horse, so lightweight should be better.
Frankie, I wanted to ask you just about the way he carries himself. I mean, he looks to have a slightly higher head carriage, and I know Zach has said before that he can be that little bit keen. Does he have 1 or 2 little sort of idiosyncratic traits that maybe need ironing out potentially?
Yeah, I think so. He's a little bit clean, but I think if 1200, I think it's still okay. Later on, maybe we need to go up to a little bit further, 14, 16. Maybe we need to give him some gears, maybe tongue tie or coastal span, something like that. Yeah.
You mentioned obviously going up in grade down to Class 2 with a lightweight. I mean, obviously the handicapper has put you up, so you have to run in this race. But you've always had quite a high opinion of this horse, haven't you? And I guess you'll be hoping he can match up in Class 2.
I think so. When you carry lightweight, I think it should be different. Yeah.
Just looking at the race, I mean, it's obviously a strong race. You'd be fully respectful of your rivals here. I mean, it's not going to be an easy race to try and win, but I guess the handicap brings them together a bit, doesn't it?
Yes, this is a strong race. Depends by the draw. If we got a better draw, maybe the chance is better, yeah.
He's a very interesting. I think you had Matthew Chadwick gallop him. What was Matthew's sort of opinion of the horse?
Yeah, he said he got a big stripe, and he had a little bit head up, but not too bad. And he also said later on he should be can go a little further the distance, yeah.
Yeah, well, he looks a very interesting horse. Course, plenty of time. I must ask you as well on the card. We've got the Sha Tin Trophy. You've got another Together. You've got Happy Together returning. What a great season he had last term.
Yes, last season he win 5 times for me. I tried him 2 times in Chongfa. He still looks okay, looks good, and this race is quite strong also. And to see how it's after race, yeah.
I guess, Frankie, with how high he's got in the ratings, etc., that you have to start in this type of race, don't you? Because he's done so well.
Yeah. Now it's 110. So we're also looking for a mile or 2,000 for maybe international race. Yeah.
Frankie Law touching on his charge in the last, and also Happy Together going around in the Group 2. Replay time now, Paul, and we've got Superb Capitalist here, of course, who was beaten by Harmony and Blessed. Bundle of Charm makes up some eye-catching ground on the inside. Sing Dragon wasn't all that bad last start on the turf. Sonpak Fu and Watch Buddy.
Yeah, I haven't got any of these in, but look, Sonpak Fu I prefer at Happy Valley. Bundle of Charm, he didn't go too badly in this race. He finished off here for 4th, and look, he can pop up at big odds. He's been running well on the all-weather recently, as has Sing Dragon. Superb Capitalist just needs to jump. That's the query with him. So in this field, if he does anything wrong, he's going to cook his goose early.
Yeah, it's good night nurse, I think, if he does anything wrong. Superb Capitalist. Let's look at the very impressive Wunderbar last time out. He's been impressive through his career so far. He's won 5 of 6. Didn't win this by a big margin, but was still good enough off a long layoff to come out and dictate and win.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of the shorter price favourites of the day, which is, you know, I think he'll be unders in this race with so many really strong horses in the race. But look, he's drawn 1. He's going to sit just in behind. He's a bit of a talk horse, isn't he? So, look, he does look the one to beat, let's be honest. But you're going to take a short price about him. Yep,
you will be taking a short price about Wunderbar. Of course, he's got that good Kaying Rising form. He trialled up at Chungfa on Thursday. Gorgeous win. The next replay here, and he's trained by Danny Shum. Matthew Poon rides. I like the trial coming into this. The trial looked good. He looked like he wanted to be a lot quicker there. He in this race beat Glory Elite 35 days ago, but the wide still worried me a little bit, and just sometimes of his tendency to over-race a bit too.
I think one thing in his favour of the over-racing is the pace in the race should be okay. As such, I think he should be able to get along okay in the race. He'll need some cover, I think, from his wide draw. But it was a strong win, this. He's got to come back up in grade now and do it. But I'm going to include him on a minor line because I thought that was a really strong win there.
Lucky Encounter coming off this trial at Happy Valley now. He's had a few internal issues. He bled after racing on the 28th of April. He's also failed a vet exam for blood in the trachea after a barrier trial. So barrier 13, does it make it tough?
Yeah, it does. Look, I think they'll be really patient with him and they'll go back. And if they do overcook it in front, he could be finishing off really strongly. He looks in good form with his trials at the moment. I know there's that niggle, obviously, with those internal issues, but I expect a good run from him.
Okay, one more replay, and it is Wonder Star, the former Macau-trained galloper for Pierong and Karis Teton. He was Top Gun Maverick. He won a race in Victoria, Australia, prior to going over there. I think he won 4 in total in Macau. What do we do with him?
I think he's going to be a pest in the race because he's got early speed. Look, I don't think he'll be there at the finish, but he could upset a few of the other horses with his early speed. That sort of worries me a little bit. Look, if he does stay on, he's going to be in the right position. I just think there's too much pace in this race for him.
Yeah, and he's certainly a horse that does like to be on the pace. Of course, there is a first 4 quartet merge pool jackpot here, Paul, of $2 million. So how do we collab with a few friends, relatives, maybe a neighbour or two to try and jag this one?
It looks that way, doesn't it? You might need a few numbers, you're right. Look, I've got the Wunderbar on top, but he's not going to be any sort of price. We'll give Lucky Encounter a chance. Bottom up together. We'll get everyone involved in that one because he's a horse that he has been over racing, but he's going to get a fast pace in this race, as likewise Gorgeous wins. So 6, 5, 12 and 8.
Very good race, the last race at Sha Tin 2. We'll bring the curtain down on the Sunday card. The action kicks off at 12:35 with race number 1.